This is interesting. Bumble's CEO said that AI concierge, like dating concierge, will affect dating. So I'm curious on this one in terms of the implications for business, right? Because what these Bumble, like these dating app concierge will do is they'll pair you with people that seem to be like a good match, right? So there's gonna be a bunch of agents working for you, and they'll talk to the agents from like all these. You might have like 600 of your agents talking to 600 agents, like other like dating profiles, right? That's gonna happen to business too. Go ahead.
Did you see the video on the Bumble CEO or Whitney? It was one of them who did a talk about the AI agents helping you find your ideal match.
No, continue.
So what they pretty much said is, imagine this is what you're looking for in an ideal candidate. Mm-hmm. There's too many people on Bumble or Tinder or any application out there.
Yep.
And there's other people who are looking for similar things. It'll just go, and the agents will go find you the ideal candidates that match for both sides. Mm-hmm. Match for you, as in they're a fit for you, and you're a fit for them. So then that way, neither party is wasting their time on bad dates. Yep. That's the overall goal from it. I agree. I don't necessarily know if it's like, I don't know if I was call it AI agents or Bumble just does this in the background.
It's still an agent.
Yeah. However you want to end up describing it, but it's someone doing it in the background, and I think they also describe it as an agent as well. Yep. I do think it is it's going to change. And Bumble also mentioned during a similar time, you know how they're doing tons of M&A now. Mm-hmm. They're trying to figure out how to get more growth, so they see M&A as a future because their growth has slowed down.
Dude, M&A, man. Not saying everyone should do it. By the way, if you could do M&A. Remember what we said here. Be deliberate. Take your time with it. Be detailed about it. But here's another thing on AI. So guys, just to go back to Bumble real quick, the implications for business, like if they're doing it for dating there, imagine how it's going to be for customer interaction, retention marketing, sales conversations. Could be SMB sales conversations, enterprise sales conversations. That's going to happen, and we're going to be working with a lot of agents at the end of the day. Now, did you know this? We've talked about AI-generated podcasts, but Perplexity has an AI-generated podcast, and I'm pulling up the results over here on Apple. Basically, this podcast it's all AI news, basically, right? And it has 5-star rating, and I think it has like 50 reviews or whatever, but it's growing. And so I think we're going to see more AI podcasts coming out.
So when you say AI podcast, this isn't about humans talking about AI. It's a podcast purely created through AI.
It's a purely AI created podcast talking about AI news.
So it's pretty much AI creating a podcast about itself and releasing it. Does it talk about the views it's getting or just the ratings that you mentioned?
Just the ratings I'm seeing. But they're continuing to do it. Like this is a project that they started for fun like a couple months ago, and it's consistent. Like 20 hours ago they launched one day ago. They're doing like a daily AI. It's like you might as well call it AI school. It's like marketing school, right? I think we're gonna see a lot more of this.
Speaking of AI, did you see the OpenAI news today?
No.
OpenAI dissolves the team focused on long-term AI risks less than 1 year after announcing it.
So much for safety.
I'm like,
so much for safety. What else?
Well, that team's probably getting in the way of them wanting to do things. So.
Oh yeah, and Sam's reshaped the board to his liking. So he could do, because remember he got fired because of people didn't agree with how he thought about certain things.
And the co-founder and CTO who was part of that board original shakeup that kicked him out is now gone.
Oh, he's leaving.
Has resigned. Yes.
Yeah.
But do you think he really resigned?
No.
I bet you they spun it from a PR perspective just to make it nice.
Rand Fishkin, founder of
SparkToro,
Moz, and now co-founder of SparkToro, and he's got a new thing, Snack Bar Studio. I don't know what that is, but so he says this, and this can be our last thing. Google created a monster through its reliance on domain and brand authority. When you reward old established sites publishing mediocre dreck over unique independent creators' new, more authentic work, you get this sad situation. Forbes, Money, Real Simple, Better Homes and Gardens, Spruce, Food and Wine, and even LinkedIn itself, especially with Pulse, aren't publishing the best stuff. They're just using the quote-unquote swarm technique, described in House Fresh's latest piece to dominate millions of keywords rankings. To be honest, I think this not AI or TikTok alternatives, is the biggest long-term threat to Google. We can all feel the domination of SERPs by these mediocre brands turned content farms, and it's making the Google search process in sector after sector less useful. So he's basically complaining about people parasite SEO, leveraging strong domain authority.
But Google continually adjusts their algorithm each and every single day, although most of the changes are very minute where no one really notices them. They do some big announcements multiple times a year with the real big shakeups. Just like how there's this issue for Google, I don't see this as the demise of Google. It's still popular. It's more so they'll continually adjust their algorithm until they figure out how to keep users happy. Because if you look at all the changes that they're doing, we as marketers may not like them, but at the end of the day, they're a smart company and they're measuring user signals to figure out, all right, are people actually satisfied? And it's more than just going on Google. They have access to a lot of data from things like Google Analytics, Search Console, and even the browser, which most people use Chrome. So when you're browsing, I bet you they're collecting and using a lot of that data as well to inform their decisions on what changes to make. And the reason they're called algorithm changes is nothing is ever perfect. It is hard to be perfect. Humans naturally make mistakes. AI will make mistakes too. But you can eventually figure out how to make it better and better and improve over time.
I just think, look, Google's not going to go out of business tomorrow. They're not going to just drop off a cliff, right? They might lose market share over the next 5 to 10 years or so, but still they have a pretty decent product. And what they announced on Monday shows that they're still trying very hard and they have a lot of smart people working there. And as long as human beings are searching, there's going to be search, right? So I think they're very much going to be a player in the space. And you look at all the stuff they're building with like AlphaFold and like this medical technology and everything, they're not going anywhere. And so, yes, I think it's healthy for them to lose market share. But like, you know, I think this might be a little, yeah, it sucks, but I think Google will fix it.
Dude, totally. And talking about losing market share, what's the social network you tricked me into signing up for?
AirChat.
It's pretty much dead, I bet you.
Is it? Search it.
Does anyone even use AirChat anymore?
I don't know. I tried logging in the other day and then one guy would like, it started with a monologue and I just shut it off. So
is it one word or two words?
Airchat.com. I don't know. AirChat.
One United States, 2004 to present. I'm looking at Google Trends. Dude, it had a huge spike in April and then it dropped off. What's its ranking in the App Store now?
I don't know. Dude, all I know is you and I aren't using it. So, you know, it is what it is.
Yes, dude, straight up, I bet you it's dying down.
All right, everyone, quick message from the Agency Owners Association. So this is the peer group for agency owners that Neil and I both put together. This is for people that are doing 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, even 9 figures as well. And we're all here to help you grow your agency faster. In this group, we share leads, we share learnings with each other. It's a community where people can ask questions, their most burning questions, personally, professionally. We'll share templates, reports, things like that. We're constantly adding more value to the group. I will tell you that the price is continuing to increase. The good news is that there's no long-term commitment. So you can just learn more by going to marketingschool.io/agency. Once again, that's marketingschool.io/agency to learn more. And we hope to see you inside. You know what it is? It's these like Clubhouse or like an AirChat, the time to value, like a Twitter, you get the time to like, you can see people tweeting or you could tweet very quickly. I think with an AirChat that like you getting value, you have to actually listen to like a couple of conversations, and that's what makes it difficult. So maybe it doesn't have to be a very big consumer app. Maybe it can just be like, decent, because they didn't raise money for this thing.
I thought they put in money, or they did
Naval put in money, but I think he said somewhere that he's not trying to raise a bunch of money and make a swing for the fences type of thing. They're trying to be thoughtful about how to grow this.
I think they're going to struggle to grow it. I don't like anything where if you're not on it, listening at that moment, you don't get value. Kind of like
well, no, you can listen asynchronously. Clubhouse, you used to not be able to.
So but even with this, when you log in, you can go to look at old people's voice notes, kind of like Twitter.
You can, but the problem is it takes time.
Yes, because I saw on there, it was either you or Heathen or someone had a voice note, and it was just like, dude, I could have read this in like 1 second.
Our mutual friend Yaniv started sending me voice notes, and every time he sends it, I'm like, motherfucker, because each one's like 2 minutes, and I'm just like, dude.
I'm with you. I hate when people send me voice notes. I'm like, just send me the text so I can read it.
Yeah, because it puts more work on the reader, right? Yes. But a text message is like equal. Like, actually, no, it's easier for the reader.
Yeah, you're saying it puts more work on the person. A voice note puts more work on the person. Text one is easier on the person.
Yeah, audio is easier for the person sending it, but then the person reading it's harder. Now, text is harder for the person sending it, but easier for the person reading it.
I don't think audio is easier for the person sending it, because you can do dictation where you just talk and it puts it in text format and they just click send.
I've never gotten used to that. I just type it all out.
Me too.
Yeah, well, there you go. I want to take a second to tell you about my podcast co-host agency, so NP Digital. So Neil Patel Digital. What they do is they do a whole host of marketing services, and they are global. They're worldwide. They have SMB services as well. They have mid-market to enterprise services as well. They cover the entire gamut. So you can just go to mpdigital.com to learn more about it. And now back to the episode. Brian Johnson says this on Twitter. Influencers make $16 in perpetuity, so forever, every time you buy AG1 for $79. AG1 spent $40 million on podcasts last year alone. It's a lot of money.
You lost me. What's AG1?
Athletic Greens, right? It's the little the green
the green
like,
powder that
green
you put
powder
to get your daily dose of vitamins.
Yep.
So repeat it again, saying Athletic Greens instead of AG1.
So influencers make $16 in perpetuity every time you buy Athletic Greens for $79. Athletic Greens spent $40 million on podcasts last year alone. So they sponsor literally all the big podcasts.
So he's saying they make $16 from affiliate commissions. Okay, they spent $40 million paying podcasts for advertising or for affiliate commissions?
For advertising.
Okay, so on top of that, they also spend $16 for affiliates.
That's 20%, by the way.
That's what?
16 of 79 is 20%. So I'm just giving you some math, but go ahead.
So they're giving out 20%, but they spent $40 million on ads. I'm assuming I'm missing the dots here. I'm assuming the $16 thing is totally separate, the affiliate commission.
It feels like it's separate, but we can't confirm here. We don't know. But I'm just saying it's a lot of money. And the thing so what he's calling out here, he's trying to, what Brian Johnson is doing here, this is the marketing smartness, is he has his own product line that competes with AG1. So he's attacking them right now on Twitter. And this post alone got 833K views. And the other interesting thing is people undervalue Twitter as an acquisition channel. The co-founder of Morning Brew, I was tweeting at him this week, and he has a new company that helps you source copywriters. And he was talking about his company. I was like, so how many new customers do you get from Twitter? He's like, a lot, right? And I was like, compared to what? He's like, well, we also get a lot from LinkedIn too. And so point is, one, Twitter works for acquisition. Two, I think it's really interesting that Brian is attacking AG1. It's not like it's a new marketing tactic. It's just like you can see it happening in real time. And then the third thing is, Brian, he spent 2 years building his audience before he released any product. So he took time to build the audience first before trying to sell anything.
Yeah. And speaking of something earlier that you mentioned, you're going to adjust your camera, right? So that way it's more eye level.
Yep.
Dude, I got this WhatsApp message this morning. All right. This is funny. I think you're going to like this.
It better be funny.
It's not really funny, but it's interesting. Okay. Neil, I love your content. I literally did grow up by watching it from back in 2019. A quick suggestion. Your recent content has a very unique eye correction. I'm reading. This guy's from India. I don't, it's fine, but some of it's a little bit different grammatically. I'm not sure if it is fully AI video or it's just your eye correct, but it's definitely is conflicting with your original personality. I hope you can take this as feedback and give it to your content team, because I like the content you're sharing, but I cannot resonate with the facial expression and the unique eye correction you have. And I believe many of your hundreds of thousands of followers who might be watching your content might be the same way. I might be completely wrong. Thanks. I hope you take it as positive feedback. And I said, thanks for the feedback. I genuinely did take it as positive. But, do you think I'm making any of my videos using AI? No. It's just, how it's being recorded or whatever it may be. The camera angle may have been different for that one video. But what's funny is because of AI now, people are questioning brands and their authenticity. Like, is this actually real? Is it AI? A year ago, you wouldn't get people questioning that, right? This is going to be a whole big problem for brands.
I'm telling you, AI and blockchain, it's going to merge together, right? So people are like, oh, blockchain's useless. No, people are still building tech. This is where you actually need blockchain to verify if someone's real or not. And you can quickly connect your key with some ad or whatever. Like that's going to happen. That's it. So go to marketingschool.io/agency to grow your agency faster. That group is growing really quickly. And by the way, we're increasing the price in increments. And Neil's gonna, after we get 16 more paid signups, Neil's gonna appear for one of the hangouts that we do. And those hangouts are really fun. And then don't forget to rate, review, subscribe. We have to spend time with each other to record these. We spend resources recording this. So don't forget, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.